She blocked you after you gave her the world. But she chases the guy who barely remembers her name. Let's stop pretending we don't see the pattern. You treat her like a queen, she disappears. He treats her like an option. She loses her mind over him. You send long texts, flowers, good morning messages, and somehow you're the one she doesn't feel a spark with. But the man who doesn't even reply to her stories? He's the one she obsesses over. Why? This isn't just a relationship issue. It's a lesson in female psychology. And if you're not willing to face the truth, you'll keep playing the same losing game, over and over again. See, we've been told to be nice, available, emotionally open. We've been told that women want a good man. But the reality is, the more you value her above yourself, the less she values you. It's backwards, unfair, and completely real. In this video, we're diving deep into why women are drawn to men who don't put them first. Men who don't chase, don't beg, and don't bend over backwards for attention. It's not because women are bad. It's not because they want to be mistreated. It's because the modern dynamic between men and women has shifted, and most guys haven't caught up. You've been lied to about what creates attraction. You've been conditioned to give, fix, and prove your worth. But the harsh truth? The moment she knows you're fully available, fully invested, and emotionally dependent, she disconnects. Not all women, but enough to notice. Enough for this video to exist. If you've ever been ghosted after doing everything right, if you've ever watched her chase the guy who treats her like she doesn't matter, this is for you. By the end of this video, you'll understand what really attracts women, why nice guy energy pushes them away, and how to stop being the man she overlooks. We're not here to shame women. We're here to teach men how to stop losing themselves in the process of trying to be chosen. Because once you stop valuing her more than yourself, everything changes. Let's begin. 1. Nice guys finish last. Every time. Let's get this straight. Being nice isn't the problem. The problem is why you're being nice. Most guys act nice because they want something in return. They want love, attention, validation. So they give and give, thinking that if they're kind enough, patient enough, understanding enough, she'll finally see their worth. But here's the truth. Women can smell it. That desperation, that quiet begging hidden behind compliments and constant check-ins. And the moment they sense it, they lose respect. Being nice doesn't build attraction. It builds comfort. And comfort is not what triggers desire. Comfort makes her see you as a brother, a friend, a backup plan, not the man she dreams about at night. Attraction is not logical. It's emotional. It's triggered by challenge, mystery, and confidence. The guy who doesn't try too hard. The guy who isn't afraid to say no. The guy who isn't always available. That's the guy who stays on her mind. But most nice guys are afraid to upset her. Afraid to lose her. Afraid to be disliked. So they overcorrect. They smile too much. They agree too quickly. They give more than they get. And in the process, they erase every ounce of masculine edge they had. Here's the brutal part. The same guy who brings her flowers, opens doors, listens to her problems, and treats her like gold. She'll call him sweet, right before she goes home to text the guy who barely replies. One guy we worked with used to cook for his girl every weekend. Bought her gifts, constantly checked in, always made time, even canceling plans with friends to be with her. She left him for someone who rarely even took her out. Why? Because one gave her everything, too fast, too easy. The other made her earn his attention. That's the difference. Being a good man doesn't mean being a pushover. Kindness without boundaries turns into weakness. And weakness never attracts strength. Stop trying to impress her. Start respecting yourself. Because when you're always available, always giving, always chasing, she sees a man who has no value of his own. And she'll treat you exactly how you treat yourself. 2. Chasing her kills attraction. The moment you start chasing her, she starts running. That's how it works. Most men think effort equals reward. That if you just try harder, call more, text more, plan more dates, she'll eventually pick you. But in reality, the harder you chase, the more she pulls away. Not because effort is bad, but because chasing is needy energy. Chasing means you're placing her above you. You're saying, "You're the prize, and I'll do anything to win you." That energy is attractive only to someone who wants control, not connection. Here's what men miss. Women don't fall for the man who puts her on a pedestal. They fall for the man who makes her feel something. And chasing doesn't make her feel excitement. It makes her feel pressure. It makes her feel like she's being pursued by someone she hasn't even chosen yet. When you chase, you're already losing the game. You're signaling that her attention matters more than your time, your energy, and your self-respect. You become predictable, easy, safe, and that kills all the mystery. Instead of chasing, you need to attract. Attraction isn't about pursuit. It's about presence. It's about being the kind of man who doesn't need her, but can choose her. A man who's focused on his mission, his goals, and lets her come to him when she's ready. We had a guy who used to send flowers to a girl every week, even though she rarely responded. He thought persistence would win her over, but all it did was make her avoid him. When he stopped texting, stopped calling, and started focusing on his life, she messaged him out of nowhere. Why? Because the energy shifted. He stopped chasing. He became a man with standards. When you chase, she relaxes. She knows she has you. And when she knows she has you, there's no thrill, no question, no curiosity. And without curiosity, attraction dies. Want her attention? Stop running after it. Live your life. Build your value. Let her feel the absence of your presence instead of drowning her in it. Chasing makes her run. Walking away makes her look back. 3. Why she wants the guy who doesn't care. It doesn't make sense at first. You care about her deeply. You treat her well. You actually see her. And yet, she's obsessed with the guy who barely even notices she exists. Every man has felt this at some point. That frustration. That confusion. Watching her light up when the guy who never texts back finally replies. Watching her make excuses for his behavior. Watching her ignore every red flag just because he's not begging for her attention. So what is it about the guy who doesn't care? It's not that he's special. It's that his indifference creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is powerful. It keeps her guessing. It makes her wonder what he's thinking, why he's distant, whether she's good enough. That emotional roller coaster feels like chemistry. It's addictive. When you care too much too soon, there's no space for tension to build. No space for mystery. She already knows where you stand. She doesn't have to earn it. And when something's too easy, it loses value. It's human nature. The guy who doesn't care isn't sitting around wondering what she's doing. He's not rearranging his life for her. He's not constantly available. That creates contrast. He becomes a challenge. Not because he's trying to be, but because his world doesn't revolve around her. That's the key. Women are drawn to the man whose energy says, "You're welcome to be part of my life, but I'm not going to chase you for it." That energy shows self-worth. It shows confidence. It shows that you're not afraid to lose her. When you care too much too early, you shift the balance. You put her in the position of power. And once that happens, she starts pulling away. Not because she's cruel, but because the dynamic no longer excites her. This doesn't mean you should be cold. It means you should value yourself more than her approval. Because when a man truly values himself, he doesn't have to fake indifference. It comes naturally. He's focused. He's grounded. He doesn't need her to feel like a man. And that's exactly the kind of man she can't stop thinking about. 4. Attention is her drug. Don't be the supplier. Let's be honest. Most men are addicted to giving women attention. You don't even realize it, but you're constantly feeding the machine. Double tapping her selfies, sliding into DMs, dropping fire emojis, replying within seconds, checking her stories like it's your job. And you think it's harmless. You think being present is what she wants. But here's the truth. Attention is her fuel. It's her high. And the more she gets it for free, the less she values the man giving it. You become background noise. Another notification. Another fan in the crowd. And here's the part men need to wake up to. You are being used. Not always intentionally, but emotionally. You're giving her the validation she craves without her giving anything in return. She doesn't need to earn it. She just needs to exist. And you'll be there, flooding her inbox with compliments she didn't ask for. That's the dynamic you've allowed. You think your attention is romantic. She sees it as disposable. And the worst part? You feel empty after. You feel ignored. You feel frustrated that you're giving so much and getting nothing. But you keep doing it. You keep feeding the beast, hoping this time will be different. It won't. You need to stop acting like your attention is worthless. Because if you treat it like it is, so will she. Start seeing your attention as a currency. Don't spend it on every girl who posts a cute picture. Don't give it to someone who hasn't shown genuine interest in you. Let her miss your presence. Let her wonder why you didn't reply. Let her feel the void. Because when you give less, she starts to feel more. Men, you have to stop begging for scraps. Stop throwing away your value for a little hit of female approval. It's not love. It's not interest. It's just noise. And it's keeping you from becoming the man you're meant to be. Respect your time. Respect your energy. And stop being the supplier of a drug that leaves you empty. You're not here to entertain. You're here to lead. Wake up. 5. Respect comes after distance, not gifts. You can't buy her respect. You can flood her with roses, take her to the best restaurants, send her money, show up every time she calls, and still get treated like an option. Why? Because respect doesn't come from giving. It comes from distance. When you're always around, always giving, always saying yes, you become predictable. And predictable doesn't inspire respect. It inspires boredom. Women don't respect the man who tries to earn her with things. They respect the man who values himself enough to pull back. The man who's not afraid to walk away. The man who doesn't chase. Let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with giving, but giving without standards is self-sabotage. If you're giving to prove your worth, to win her over, to make her like you, you've already lost. She sees it, she feels it, and it changes how she sees you. She starts to take. Not because she's evil, but because that's human nature. You give too much, and people assume they don't have to give anything back. This is where most men mess up. You think you're building connection by being generous, but what you're really doing is showing that you have no boundaries, no spine, no edge, and women don't respect a man without edge. Now here's the part that hurts. The man she respects isn't the one who showers her with gifts. It's the one who doesn't need her. The one who disappears when he's not treated right. The one who knows what he brings, and won't waste it on someone who doesn't see it. Distance commands respect. It forces her to reflect. It gives her space to feel your absence, and in that silence, she realizes your value. But when you're always giving, always present, always available, there's no silence, no contrast, no space for her to miss you or respect you. So stop trying to buy what only strength can create. If you want her respect, stop throwing gifts at her. Start creating distance when it's needed. Pull back when she pulls away. Don't try to fix the connection with more effort. Sometimes the strongest move is to step back and let her wonder why you're gone. Respect follows power, and power comes from self-control. 6. Being too available makes you disposable. If you're always there, you become forgettable. Most men think availability means loyalty, that by always picking up her calls, replying instantly, canceling plans for her, and being emotionally present 24/7, they're proving their worth. But all they're really doing is teaching her one thing. He'll always be there, no matter what. And the moment she knows that, she stops valuing it. Women don't want a man who has nothing else going on. They don't want someone whose whole life revolves around them. That feels clingy. It feels weak. It feels desperate. And desperation is never attractive. You have to understand something. Women notice how easily you drop everything for them. And if it's too easy, they stop seeing it as a gift. They see it as your default. Your availability becomes expected, not appreciated. And what's expected is taken for granted. The most respected men don't make themselves available at all times. Not because they're playing games, but because they actually have lives. They have a mission, a purpose, a routine that doesn't get thrown off just because someone texts, "Wide." Being a man of value means you protect your time. You don't hand it out like candy. You don't rearrange your priorities just because she suddenly felt bored. When you're too available, you kill the mystery. You kill the chase. You remove the challenge. And guess what? No challenge, no spark. Think about it. How many times have you dropped everything for a girl, only for her to go cold right after? How many times have you replied too fast, only to get one-word answers in return? It's not that she lost interest. It's that you made it too easy. Start making her earn your attention. Not out of ego, but out of self-respect. Let her feel that your time is valuable. That it's not always open. That she doesn't get unlimited access to you just because she exists. You're not an emotional support pet. You're a man. Act like one. Remember this. If you're always available, you're never desired. And if you're never desired, you're always replaceable. Make her fit into your world. Don't beg to be in hers. 7. She tests you without realizing it. Women don't always test you on purpose, but they do test you, constantly. It's not evil. It's not manipulation. It's instinct. She wants to feel something. She wants to know if you're solid, grounded, unshakable. So she'll push a little, pull away, ignore your messages, get moody for no reason, say something slick just to see how you react. And if you crumble, chase, or beg for reassurance, you fail. Here's the hard truth. Women are wired to test a man's strength. Not his physical strength, his emotional strength, his sense of self, his confidence under pressure. The moment you break character just to keep her happy, she senses weakness. And the attraction fades. Most men take these tests personally. They get offended, defensive, they argue, or worse, they try even harder to please her, thinking it'll fix the vibe. But that just proves her point. You're not stable. You're reacting to everything she does. You're not leading the frame, you're chasing it. What she's really looking for is a man who stays calm no matter what, who doesn't get thrown off when she pulls back, who doesn't blow up when she's distant, who doesn't abandon his values just to avoid conflict. When you react emotionally to her tests, you give her the power. When you stay composed, you keep the power and her respect. Look, it's not about being cold or playing games. It's about holding your ground. She needs to see that you're not easily shaken. That your world doesn't revolve around her approval. That if she pushes you, you won't collapse. You'll stand taller. That's the man she craves. You can't control when or how the tests come, but you can control how you respond. Next time she gets distant, don't panic. Next time she throws shade, don't chase. Next time she tests your patience, don't lose your cool. Smile, breathe, stay centered. The real test isn't about her, it's about you. Are you the man who bends under pressure? Or are you the one who calmly walks away from anything that doesn't match his standards? Pass the test by never trying to pass it. 8. The more you prove yourself, the less she feels. Men, listen closely. Trying to prove yourself to a woman is one of the fastest ways to lose her. You think showing your effort will make her feel something. You go out of your way to be more impressive, more supportive, more available, thinking that if she just sees how much you care, she'll finally give you what you want. But here's the brutal truth. The more you try to prove your value, the more invisible you become. Because real attraction doesn't come from proof. It comes from presence, from confidence, from energy. The man who knows his worth doesn't try to convince anyone of it. He just lives it. The second you start over-explaining yourself, seeking approval, showing off your achievements, or begging for attention, you flip the dynamic. You stop being the man she's curious about and become the man who's trying too hard. And trying too hard screams insecurity. You're not here to earn her love like a job interview. You're not on trial. You're not applying for the position of boyfriend of the year. When you act like you need to be picked, you forget that you should be doing the picking too. When you give her the power to decide your worth, she loses the feeling of being around a strong man. A man who doesn't ask for approval. A man who doesn't perform for attention. A man who doesn't have to prove anything. Because deep down, women don't want a man who tries to win them. They want a man who already knows he's a catch and lets them show up the right way or not at all. Every time you chase her with more effort, more gifts, more validation, you dig yourself into a deeper hole. You're telling her, I don't believe I'm enough unless you confirm it. And once that energy sets in, it's nearly impossible to reverse. The solution? Stop proving. Start leading. Live like your value is obvious. Like you have nothing to prove and everything to protect. The man who doesn't seek validation becomes the man she's dying to impress. 9. Confidence isn't loud. It's indifference. Too many men confuse confidence with noise. They think it's about flexing muscles, showing off money, talking big, being the loudest guy in the room. But that's not confidence. That's insecurity in disguise. Real confidence is quiet. Still. Focused. And the most powerful form of it? Indifference. Not coldness. Not disrespect. Indifference to the outcome. It's the ability to walk into any situation and say, if this works out, great. If not, I'll be fine. That energy is rare, and women feel it instantly. See, most guys walk on eggshells around women. They're afraid to say the wrong thing, afraid to lose her, afraid she won't like them. That fear leaks into every word, every text, every move. But when you're indifferent, you remove the fear. You stop playing to win her approval. You start acting like a man who chooses instead of waits to be chosen. Women are drawn to that energy. Not because you're ignoring them, but because you're not chasing them. You're not trying to impress. You're not reacting to their moods. You're not emotionally dependent on their attention. You show up calm and certain, and let them decide if they can keep up. That's confidence. Indifference means you're not afraid to lose her. You're not obsessed with getting a reply. You're not overanalyzing every emoji she sends. You're focused on your own path, your own peace, your own standards, and that, ironically, makes her feel more. Because the man who doesn't need her is the one she wants the most. This doesn't mean you act like a robot. It means you never place her above yourself. You don't need to prove, chase, or beg. You let things flow. You speak your mind. You don't overcommit to someone who's unsure about you. You know you're the prize, and you move accordingly. Confidence isn't in your voice, it's in your energy. It's the way you stay centered when she's emotional. It's the way you don't flinch when she pulls back. It's the way you walk away from anything that doesn't align with your standards. That's real strength. Be calm, be focused, be indifferent to everything that doesn't match your value, and watch how they start chasing you. 10. You win when you stop trying to win her. The game ends the moment you stop playing it. Most men live their lives trying to win women, adjusting who they are, what they say, how they act, just to be liked. They obsess over texts, analyze every signal, overthink every word, and in the process, they lose the one thing that truly matters, themselves. The truth is, the more you try to win her, the more you lose your edge. You become reactive. You become emotional. You start living for her approval instead of your own purpose. You go from being a man to becoming a follower, hoping she'll lead you to happiness. But here's the reality most men don't want to hear. You don't win women by chasing them. You win them by walking away from needing them. When you stop trying to win her, something shifts. You stop caring whether she likes you, and you start focusing on whether you like yourself. You stop wondering if she'll stay, and you start asking, is she even worth my time? That mindset is dangerous, in the best way possible. It makes you magnetic. Because now you're not chasing anything. You're not trying to prove. You're not desperate for attention. You're building your life, your body, your purpose, your money, your focus. And women feel that. They sense the man who's not looking for a prize because he already sees himself as one. And that's the man they respect. That's the man they chase. The final form of masculine strength is not dominance. It's detachment. It's peace. It's knowing that you're good with or without her. That her presence is a bonus, not your survival. You win when you stop trying to win her because now you've won yourself. And that's the part they were attracted to all along. But you buried it under too much effort. So stop trying to be chosen. Start choosing. Stop performing. Start leading. Stop chasing approval. Start building respect. This isn't about women. It's about you. You become unstoppable the moment you stop begging to be seen. Because when you stop trying to win her, you've already won. Here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. The more a man values a woman over himself, the less she values him at all. It sounds harsh. It feels unfair. But it's real. And if you're honest with yourself, you've seen it play out more than once. This isn't about hating women. It's about helping men wake up. Too many of you are giving your energy, your love, your focus to people who haven't earned it. You're losing sleep, self-respect, and time chasing a fantasy. And in the end, you're left broken, questioning your worth. But you're not alone. I know how it feels. I've been there too. This video wasn't just to teach, it was to connect. If anything I said hit you deep, leave a comment. Tell me your story. I read every single one, and I'll reply. Let's talk. Man to man. You don't have to figure this out alone. Your time starts now. No more chasing. No more proving. It's time to become the version of you that doesn't ask for love, but attracts it without trying. I'm here. Let's build something real.